Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have shown you a quick overview of Netflix clone. If you haven't watched it, just go and check out the link in the description. From this video onwards, we are going to start the development of Netflix clone backend part. So for that, first thing what we have to do is we have to start the setting of the project. So in this video, I'm going to show you the how to download or create the first project. Then we will add all the required dependency in the POM. Then we will configure all of the application or properties. Then we will create all the enum, DTO, entities, DAO, and all the exceptions. So it means that we are going to do a complete end-to-end setup of the project. So let's start with it. So I have already searched Spring Initializer. So you have to go on this one. Over here, first thing what you have to do is, over here, the first thing, the project is in Maven. You can use Gradle or Maven, anyone which you are comfortable with. I'm going to choose the Maven. Language is Java, and Spring Boot version which I'm going to use is 3.5.2. And dependency, the basic one which we are going to add is web. Next thing what we are going to do is, we are going to add the group name, artifact name, and the package name. So com.netflix.clone. I'm going to copy this and paste it in this one and even in this one. And for the description, I'm going to give it a name, Netflix clone. And simply the packaging is jar and the properties is properties instead of YML. So you can choose any as per you are comfortable with. And for the Java version, I have selected 21. So this is the basic setup which you have to do, and simply click on generate. Now, once you generate, it will download a zip file, this one. Let me quickly cut this and move to the another package where I'm going to do the complete development. And over here, first thing what you have to do is right click on this and extract here. So I've extracted it. Let me quickly copy the path and let me close this one. Open the Netflix repository on the one which we have downloaded in the IntelliJ. So click on open, paste the full path, select this folder and select folder. It will take some time. Let me minimize the Chrome. So basically it's rendering all the jars, required jar from the repo, from the Maven repo. Here you can see this resolving Maven dependencies. So once it's done, we are with the development. Okay, so everything is done. All the resolution is done. So over here you can see now came up with this basic application, that is the application. And into this one we have added as a web. So we can start this and it will run on the port 8080. So let's quickly start it because we haven't added any dependencies for the database. So it will work fine. So I've started the application and let's check if this one is working fine or not. So here you can see this Tomcat is started on port 8080. So the first step is crossed. Okay. Next thing what we have to do is we have to set up the POM. We have to add the correct dependencies, all of the dependencies into this one. So we are going to add all of the dependencies required into this one. So let me quickly copy and paste. So first thing what I need is the JPA dependency. So that I will paste over here. Then another dependencies which I need is for the Spring security and for the JWT. So let me quickly add those. And then I need Jackson parser. Then I need the MySQL one. And for the email, sending an email, we need the another one. So let me quickly copy those and let me explain you quickly. So I pasted. So, okay. So first thing what I have pasted is this one. That is nothing but the JPA. Okay. So this is basically to connect with this is an ORM. So to mark entity as a database table. So this we are going to use. Okay. Second thing is security. This is to enable the security in our application. Then we have the token. To implement the token, we are going to use the JSON web token JWT-API 0.12.3. Then we have JSON web token. This is again to implement the web tokens. These three we have. Okay. Next thing what we have is, this is a MySQL one to connect with the MySQL database. Okay. Next thing we have is starter mail. This we are going to use in order to send the emails to, as we have seen in the quick overview video, that we are sending email in the case of verification and the forward password. Okay. Next thing, this is a starter validation. This is we are going to use in the entity, the different type of validation. Instead of writing the business logic in the server simple, I'm going to show you how to do this. Then we have Lombok. That is for the getters and setters, just to remove a lot of boilerplate code. And in some of the scenarios, you have to add a Lombok plugin in your IntelliJ, or if you are using any Eclipse IDE, so you have to do that. And if that doesn't work, we are fine with adding a manual getters and setters. Okay. Next thing what we have to do is we have to add this plugin as well. So what I will do is I will provide you the whole pom.xml in the description of the video, so you can go and download it. Before we proceed further, please check out our website and make sure to subscribe this channel. Okay, so let me quickly add plugins inside the build. Okay, so inside the plugins, we have to add one plugin related to the Lombok. Okay. So this is the plugin again added in order to auto detect things. So we are done with the pom.xml. We have to simply click on this one, and what it will do is, again, it will resolve all of the dependencies for what we have added the dependencies. So it's downloaded all of the jars. Now if you try to start it, it will not, because we have added it for the JWT security and other stuff, but we haven't implemented yet. So it will not allow this. So next thing what we have to do is we have to configure in the application or properties. Okay. And one more thing, like we have added the MySQL jar as well, but we haven't configured the data source and other stuff in the application or properties. So let's quickly jump into this application or properties part. Into this one, first thing what we have to do is we have to add the Spring security stuff, like database URL. Sorry. Okay. So into this one, we have the driver class name, that is com.mysql.cj JDBC driver, which I'm going to use. Then we have to put the data source, the URL, whatever you want to. So the project which I have used, this is a plural screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one underscore video. Okay. My username is root for my local database, and the password is 123456. Okay. So SQL is to show the SQL in the query, in the console. So whenever your application is running, if this one is false, then it will not show the queries in the console. So what I will do is I will make it true. So, and this is a DDL auto. It means that whenever you are adding a new table, what type of operation, or any new column, then what type of operation you want to perform, this is update. There are multiple operations like delete, update, or something like this. So you can use anyone. Again, for the Hibernate dialect, which dialect I want to use, I have added org.hibernate.dialect.mysql 8 dialect. Then we have to format SQL. If you want, see, this one is to, if you want to print the SQL, so that will be a single line. If your query is very long, still it will be in single line. This is format SQL. If you want a formatted way, which will be multi-line, but it is easy to read. Okay. Next thing what I'm going to add is to enable the multi-part file, just to accept the multi-part file. So let's make some space, and we have to add this. The spring.servlet.multipart.enabled is equal to true. Then whatever the file we want to add, we have to put the limit. So how much file you want to allow. So for that, I'm going to add few more. So that is spring.servlet.multipart.max file size, that is 2 GB. and spring.servlet.multipart.max request size is 2 GB. Next thing what we have to add is we have to add this swallow, max swallow size. So this max swallow size, basically this is to prevent the denial of service stuff. So whenever we mention this one as -1, so it will accept unlimited unlimited request, where whatever the large body, even the user has cancelled it while uploading it. So this is a one thing. Next thing, if there is a post call with a large multi-part form, so in that case we have to again add another one, that is server.tomcat.max http form as post.size. Okay. Next thing, if you want to see, now we are going to upload the images as well as video. So for that we need to create two different directories. So for that I'm going to take those from the application or properties. For that I'm going to add two different ones, that is file.upload.video-dir uploads/videos, and in the same folder I have another package for images, and in the URL also, in the name also, you can see we have video and we have image over here to distinguish between these two. Okay. Next thing, to send email for the Gmail configuration, a two-factor authentication is enabled. So in that case, what we have to do is we have to add some of the configurations. Let me quickly add those. So in this one, we have mail host, that is smtp.gmail.com, and the port is 587, the email ID whatever you are using, and then the password for that one. The mail SMTP auth is true, then TTLS is enabled, TTLS is required, connection time is 5000 milliseconds, timeout is 5000 milliseconds, and write timeout is again 5000 milliseconds. And for the frontend URL, we have to add one more, that is app.frontend URL. We are going to run that on the localhost 4200. Just save it. Next thing what we have to do is, we are done with the application or properties, and as we are going to configure the bare minimum in this project. So right click on this, click on this one, and first thing I'm going to create one enum. So quickly create a package, enums, and we have only one enums. So right click on this one, Java class, and the enum is nothing but a role, and over here we have to select enum. So in this enum we will have only two values, that is one is user and another is admin. That's it. Next thing what we have to do is we have to create all of the DTOs, whatever we required in this project. So click on this, click on package, click on DTO, and in the DTO we need two stuff. We have couple of request and we have couple of response. So we will start with the request. So in the DTO, I will create another folder, or we can call package, that is request. And we will create one more package, that is response. So in the request, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create couple of requests. So right click on this one, and Java class, and the first is nothing but change password request. Create this one. In the change password request, first, as I have told you, I'm going to use the lambbox. So @data. From the lambbox, you can see. Okay, so over here I have made a spelling mistake, so word. So hover on this one, rename file. So now you can see this error is gone. Next thing what we have to do is we need two variables, that is one is private string current password, and another one is private string new password. Okay, And we need to add some validation on this one. So for that, I'm going to use not blank. And you can see that it's coming from the validation, the one dependency which we have added. And with this one, if this is null, in that case, what type of message you want to return, you have to add it over here. So current password is required. Second thing, we have to add again over here. We have to check for the not null case. So message is equal to new password is required. Done. So we are done with this one. Next thing we have is email requests. Right click on this, click on Java class, email request. So in this one, again we have to add @data, and then we have to add a variables. Private string email. So into this one, we have to add again the not null check or not blank check. So into this one, message is equal to email is required. Another thing is this is a type of email. So email message is equal to invalid email format. So it basically internally validates the type format of the email. So if you go and if you see the library, okay, so you can accept, and you can see there is a lot of things which is going on over here. Internally, it will validate the type of the email. It contains like @ and .com at the end, or dot something at the end, or not, by using the regex. We don't have to worry about that. Next thing we have login request, and as we have added the @data, so the getter setters for this one will be handled by the data. Right click on this, click on new Java class and login request. In the login request, again we will add @data, then private string email @not blank, message is equal to email is required, @email message invalid email format, same thing. Then we have another one that is private string password @not blank, message is equal to password is required. Okay. Next thing, we need another request DTO, that is for reset password. Click on this. Then again we need @data for the getter setters. Then we have private string and we need token. So in this case we will only check not blank and we will not throw or return any message. Then we need private string new password. So don't worry about how and where we are going to use it. Once we start the development of the endpoints, so I guess we will start with from the third video. So you will see the utilization of these all request and response. So just be patient and just keep on following. If you have any doubt or any question, just comment in the comment section, or you can connect us on Instagram. And over here, this is not blank @size. And the size, the min size for the password is 6. And if that is not followed, so in that case, new password must be at least 6 characters long. Okay. Next request which we need is user requests. Right click on this, click on this one, user request. In the user request, we have created this one as a common one. So we will have only variables, all the required one. So private string email, private string password, private string full name, private string role, private string private boolean active. This is the one, and again we have to add the @ data from the long walk. Next one and the last one in request, that is nothing but video request. So right click on this, click on this one, Java class video request. Again we will put @ data. So into this one I need private string title, and this needs not to be null, not blank, and if it's blank, in that case title is required. Next thing which we need is private string description @ size, max is equal to 4,000. Then we have message is equal to description must not exceed 4,000 characters. Then next thing we need few more, that is private integer year, private string duration or rating. Next thing we need is private integer duration. Then we have private string src. Then we have private string poster. We have private boolean published. Then we have private list string and categories. So it was showing error over here, and just after that I have proceeded and it's added the import over here. So this is to store the categories. Okay, so now we are done with the request. Now we have to prepare some of the response. So let's quickly collapse this and go to response. Right click on this, click on this one and create a Java class, and that is nothing but Java class over here. This is for email validation response. Okay, so into this one again we need to add getters over here, and as it's a response so we don't need to have setters, and I need all our constructor over here, so I have added that. Into this one I will add only two variables, two parameters, boolean, private boolean exists, private boolean available. Next one which we have is login response. Right click on this, click on new Java class, login response. On the top of it, we will add @ data, we will add @ all our constructor, login response, we have private string token, private string email, private string full name, private string role. save it. Next one, what we need is message response. Okay, so in this one we are going to add @data, @no args constructor, @all arg constructor. So we are adding this as per the requirement. So once we will start developing the endpoints, you will see the real use of these, and at the same time while implementing, I will open and show you these classes which are required for that particular stuff. So this one only returning private string message. Okay, next one we have is page response. So right click on this one, Java class, page response, and on top of this @data, @no arg constructor, @all arg constructor, and this, the type of this one is T. So the one, whatever is going to set, it's of that type. So private list is also of that type, and this is nothing but content. This is to return the paged response to the UI. So private long total elements, private int total pages, private int number, private int size. Next one which we need is user response. So right click on this one, and over here user response. Okay, so in the user response we have @data, we have @no args constructor, then we have to add all arg constructor, and to this one we need private long ID, private string email, then private string full name, private string role, private boolean active, private instant, that is of Java time, and we have to give it a name, created at private instant updated at. Okay, so we are done with this user response. Next thing which we have is video request. So right click on this one, Java class, and video response. On the top of this, again we will add the data, the long block, then add the no args constructor. So when we add data, it contains all of the stuff like getters, setters, to, string, and many more things. So you can go and check it out. So inside this one, we need private long ID, we need private string title, we need private string description, then we need private integer year, we need private string rating, then we need private integer duration, private string source, private string poster, private boolean published, then we have private list of string, and this is nothing but categories, private instant created at private instant updated at private boolean is in watch list. This is for video response. And last thing which we need is video status response. So right click on this one, Java class, video stats response. The one which you have seen in the quick overview video in the admin portal, that is total videos, published video, total duration, that kind of stuff. So in this one, @data, again @no R constructor, and I need all R constructor as well. So into this one, private long total videos, private long published videos, private long total duration. So these all are the request and response which we have to create. So we are done with that. Next thing what we have to do is we have to create the entity. So in this project we need only two entities. One is for user and one is for video. So right click on this one, Java class, not Java class. This time we have to create a package first. So in the package we will create entity. Right click on this one, Java class, and I'm going to give it a name, that is user. So on the top of this, I will mark this as an entity. Second thing, @table. So name is equal to users. So if you want to change any name in the database, so you have to set the name over here. So else what will happen? This will be the default name in the database if you don't add this particular stuff. Okay. So now right now I have given it users. So in the database it will create a table name with users, not user. Okay. So we need getIs, we need setIs, then we need @toString. So for this one, next thing what we need over here is we need the ID. So private long ID, on the top of it you have to put the annotation @ID in order to identify this is an ID, and this will be mapped into a table. Okay. Next thing, how you want to generate the IDs. For that we have to put another annotation, that is @generated value, and into this one we have to pass the strategy. So this will be generation type and this will be identity. Okay. Next thing, we have to add a field for email. So private string email @column nullable is equal to false, and this unique is equal to true. Okay. So this column field, this will validate like what type of validation you want to add. If you want to add any specific name into this particular column, then you can do that as well over here. So name is equal to, and whatever, like user_email. So in the database with this name, the column will be created. But by default, I haven't added the name. So this will create with the email. Okay. Okay. So next thing which we have is private string password column, and this one nullable is equal to false. Next thing which we have is private string full name @column nullable is equal to false. Next thing which we have is private role is equal to role dot user. So by default, whatever role which will be created, it will be user. Okay. So into this one, we will add at the rate enumerated. Into this one, we will pass enum string, enum type as string. And again, this column also can't be null. So column nullable is equal to false. Next thing which we have is the active or active status. So private boolean active is equal to true by default, and the column again nullable is equal to false. Next thing which we have is to store that if the email is validated. So private boolean email verified is equal to false. By default it's false. Once user has validated from the email, then it will be marked as true. For that we will write the code in the upcoming videos. Okay, so in this one, nullable is equal to again false. Next is verification token. So at the rate column, and the uniqueness for this column will be true, and this will be private string verification token. Next thing which we need is column, and this is no validation is required. So private instant, this is verification token expiry at the rate column private string password reset token. Then we need another one, that is column private instant password reset token expiry. Then we have few more, that is created at, updated at, and for the watch list. So this will be creation timestamp at the rate column, and this will be nullable is equal to false, and updatable is equal to also false. This is nothing but the private instant created at the rate updation timestamp at the rate column nullable is equal to false, and private instant updated at. Another one which we are going to need is the video. So for that we haven't created, but right click on this, I will just create it just to use over here. So video. Okay, so now move back over here, and first thing what I will do is I will create private, this is set of video, and this is nothing but watch list is equal to new hash set. Okay. So on top of this we have to add some of the annotation at the rate JSON ignore. Next thing, add the rate many to 1. This one will be many to many. Okay, one video can be mapped to the multiple users, and multiple user can map to single video. So many to many, and to this one fetch type will be nothing but lazy. At the rate join table, and this will be name is equal to user underscore watch list join columns at the rate join column and this one we have to pass name is equal to user underscore ID, inverse join column, and this one we will pass at the rate join column, and name is equal to video underscore ID. So now this one is done. We need two custom methods in order to return this one or to set this one. So that is nothing but public void add to watch list video this dot watch list dot add, and we have to pass video into this one. The another one which is required is public void remove from watch list video. Into this one we will simply call this dot watch list dot remove video. Okay, so now the task for this user entity is done. Next thing, we have to jump into the video, and in the video, first thing we will start from the top by adding the required annotation. So the first annotation is entity to mark this class as an entity class. At the rate table, if you want to give any name, so name is equal to videos at the rate getters at the rate setter. Okay. Next thing, what we have to do over here is we have to declare a variable for the ID. So annotation will be ID, then generated type, generated value, and with this one we will pass strategy. Generated type will be identity, and private, long, and ID. Next one which we have is title. So at the rate column, and the label is equal to false, private string title. Then after title we have column and this is title, length is equal to 4000, private string description, private integer year, private string rating. We have ID, title, description, rating, we need duration, private integer duration. Then we have private string source UUID. This is for video UUID, and this will be at the rate column, and the name is equal to src, and we will also do a JSON ignore on this one. So JSON ignore, like whenever we are trying to return this video file or video entity, it will ignore while converting this as a JSON. So for that reason we are adding a JSON ignore. So src UUID. Then we have private boolean published is equal to false. Do this one on the top of this column, and the column the label is equal to false. Then we have categories at this side. So private list of string, and then categories is equal to new array list. On the top of it we will add at the rate element collection, because we can add multiple categories for one movie, like action, drama, like this, as you have seen in the quick over video. So to store multiple, we are using this element collection. So fetch type is equal to fetch type ego. Then we have @collection table, and with this one we will pass name is equal to video underscore categories, comma join columns is equal to @join column, and into this one name is equal to video underscore ID. Then we have to set the column name for this one. Column name is equal to category. Okay. Next thing, we have to add created at, updated at, and these all stuff. So this will be at the creation timestamp @column. The label is equal to false. Updatable is equal to false. Private instant created at update timestamp @column. The label is equal to false. Private instant updated at. Next thing is in watch list that we have to add. So that will be transient. It means that while this will be only in this video file, but this will never be created in the table in the database. Okay, so transient, when we add this transient while creating the table, this field will be excluded. And JSON property is in watch list. Private boolean is in watch list. Okay. Another thing is, I'm going to add another variable, another method to return the complete URL for the poster and for the video. So first one is JSON property, and this is nothing but src public string get src if src UUID is not equal to null and not src UUID dot is empty. In that case, what we will do is we will simply call string base URL is equal to servlet URI components builder dot from current context path dot to URI string. So we will get the base URL, and simply what we will do is we will return base URL plus we will return the URL, that is API/files/video/ and the src UUID. If this is not the case, we will simply return the null. So this is the endpoint which we are going to develop and where we are going to store the file. Okay, so this will be localhost 8080 and then this is the path, and which there is a ID, the complete image path. Okay, this will prepare the whole URL. So I will show you this once we start the development. Okay, so it's okay if you are not able to understand this for now, but I will show you how to use this. So JSON property, and with this one we will give it a name poster. Again, we will do something similar to the above one. So poster. Okay, I guess we have missed one of the parameters, that is poster UUID. Let's check this RC. So we have missed it over here. So at the red column, name is equal to poster. At the red JSON, ignore private string poster UUID. Okay, so this is poster UUID is not equal to null and not poster URL is empty. So if this is the case, then what we have to do is again we have to copy this and paste it over here. This one will be image, and this is nothing but poster UUID. If this is not the case, then we will simply return null. Okay, so what mess we have created? So we have written directly this without a method. We'll click cut this part and fix it. Okay, so JSON property, then public string get poster. Directly paste this one, not like this, like this. Okay, so get poster, check for the poster UUID is not null and this empty. Simply get the basic URL from the context path, and then we prepare the full URL for the image. And then if this one is null, then simply return the null. If the poster UUID is null, then we will not return any path. Okay, so this is done. Next thing what we have to do is we have to make a small modification in the user response DTO. Okay, so in the user response, if I go to this DTO, go to response, in the user response, we have to add one method which will basically use to convert from the user to user response. So public static, and this will return user response. This is basically from entity. Which entity? From user, the one which we have created right now. So come over here, over on this, import class from the first one. Okay, next thing, we have to simply return new user response, and with this one we have to simply pass user.getID, then we have to pass user.getEmail, then we have to pass user.getFull name, then we have to pass user.getRole.name, then user.isActive, then user.getCreatedAt, then user.getUpdatedAt. And now we have to simply close this. So this is a one small modification in the user request, and next thing we have to do the same in the video response. So video response is being used at multiple places with a different constructor. So we need to create few of the constructor which is being used in the query. So public video response, and with this one we need, first thing is nothing but long ID, then we need string title, then we need string description, then we need integer year, then we need string rating, then we need integer duration, then we need string src, then we need string poster. So this constructor we are going to use in the query. Okay, so poster, then boolean published, then we have list of string, that is nothing but categories, Then we have instant, that is created at. Then we have instant updated at. Now what we have to do is, now the constructor is ready. Next thing, we have to simply set the value. This dot id is equal to id. This dot title is equal to title. This dot description is equal to description. This dot year is equal to year. This dot rating is equal to rating. This dot duration is equal to duration. This dot src is equal to src. This dot poster is equal to poster. This dot publisher is equal to publisher. This dot categories is equal to categories. This dot created at is equal to created at. This dot updated at is equal to updated at. Okay, and this constructor, it was required for the one of the query. Next thing what we have over here is, we have to create another similar type of method, that is public static, and which is going to return a video response from, I'm going to give it the name, from entity. Into this one it will accept video, and this will prepare a response. So video response is equal to new video response. And to this one we will simply pass video dot get id, video dot get title, video dot get description, video dot get year, video dot get rating, video dot get duration, video dot get src, video dot get poster, video dot is published, video dot get categories, video dot get created at, video dot get updated at. Let's close this, and now we have to check if video dot is in watch list is not equal to null. Then what we will do is, we will type response dot set is in watch list, video dot get is in watch list. And next thing what we will do is, we will simply return the response. Okay, so now the task for this one is also done. Okay, so next thing, the DTO entity, these are done. Next thing what we have to do is, we have to create the DAO for this one. So right click on this one, and the package DAO. In the DAO, we have to create two of the DAO, which we have just created the repository or the entity. So first one is Java class interface. This is nothing but user repository. And this will nothing but extends JPA repository. And with this one we will have to pass the, which is your entity. So our entity is user and the type of ID. So this is nothing but long. The second one is nothing but, right click on this one, and Java class video repository. And this is nothing but interface. And this will again extends JPA repository, and this will basically use user. This is a video one, so video comma long. Okay, so this is done. Next thing we have to handle is we have to create is all of the exception which we are going to use. So right click on this, click on package, and nothing but exceptions. So first thing, we will create all of the small exceptions. So right click on this one, Java class, account, deactivated exception. And this will nothing but extends runtime exception, and simply public account deactivated exception. Into this one we will accept string message. Super. And with this one we will pass message and save this. Next thing is nothing but what we will do is we will copy this one and we will paste into this one. It will ask for a name, so we have to give bad credential exception. Enter. So bad credential exception, we need to do the same thing again. Paste it, and with this one we have to give another name. That is nothing but email already exists. Then again we need one more, email not verified. Next thing, we need one more, that is email sending exception. We need, in the email sending exception, we need one more constructor. The two param constructor we need. One is throwable, and we have to also pass the cause. We have to pass the cause into this one. So let me quickly expand this so that you can see it clearly. Okay, email sending exception. Next we have is invalid credentials exception. So let me paste it. Invalid credentials exception. Paste once again. Then we have invalid role exception. Then we have invalid token exception. Then we have resource not found exception if there is no image found or any file is missing. So in that case. So I've created almost all of the exception which are required, and we are going to create one global exception handler. So Java class global exception handler, and on the top of this we have to add the control advice. So on the top of this I will add @controller advice, and this will nothing but it's to handle all of the exception throughout the project, all over the project. Okay, so over here what I will do is I will create private static final and logger. And this is logger from SLF4J. Logger log is equal to logger factory dot get logger global exception handler dot class, which we have to pass. Let me quickly make this one little small so that you can read it. Let me minimize this. Okay. Next thing, we have to handle the first exception, that is nothing but bad credentials. So exceptional handler. Now this one we will pass bad credential exception dot class. And we have to create one method, public response entity. And with this one we have to pass the type of the way we are going to return string comma object handle bad credentials. Bad credential exception ex, and simply we will warn this log.warn. Now this one nothing but bad credentials exception get message ex. And what we will do is we will simply return and we will create a method to build response. So let's quickly add it. Private response entity and of type map of string comma object build response, and this will accept http status dot status and string message, and it will simply build this one. So map of string comma object, and this is body is equal to map dot off with this one time stamp comma instant dot now comma, and the second parameter is error, and this one is message. Close this, return response entity dot status dot body, and whatever the body we have to pass. Okay. So move back over here and simply call build response http status dot unauthorized comma ex dot get message. So this one is done. Second one, let me quickly copy this and paste it so that we can do it quickly. This is nothing but account deactivated exception. So let me quickly copy this one, paste it over here. So if the account is deactivated, so we will return forbidden. Okay, and account deactivated. Okay, handle, and this name is handle account deactivated, and again this one again it will be here. Okay, again we have to use another one, that is nothing but email not verified exception. So let me quickly copy this one, paste this, email not verified exception, quickly copy this one, paste it over here, paste it over here, and in the case of email not verified, we will again return forbidden, and we have to change the name. So handle account deactivation, instead of this handle email not verified. Okay. After this, what we will do is we need another one, that is email sending exception. So we will paste it over here, copy this one, paste it, email sending exception. So quickly copy this one, paste it over here, paste it in the log, and change, and this one will be internal server error, and change the name for this one. Handle email sending exception. Okay. Next thing which we have is invalid credentials exception. So we click copy this one, paste this. This is invalid credential exceptions. Invalid credential exception, handle invalid credentials exception. Okay, then again we have to copy this one and paste it over here. And next thing which we have is resource not found exception. Copy this one, paste it over here, paste it over here. Resource not found. Then we have handle invalid token exception. So let me quickly copy this one. Invalid token exception. Copy this one, paste it over here, paste it over here. Handle invalid token. Okay. Copy this one. Invalid role exception. Invalid role exception. After invalid role exception, we have email already exists. Exist exception. Let me quickly copy this one, paste it over here, paste it over here. And this one is email already exists exception. So this is handle email already exists exception. Okay, and this is nothing but of type conflict. So let's quickly move back to the top, I think. Okay, so first one is unauthorized, second is forbidden, then we have internal server error, then we have bad request for this one, invalid credentials. So in this one we have bad request, we have to return bad request, and in the resource not found we have to return not found. Then in invalid token exception, we have to return again bad request. Then in the invalid role exception, we have to return bad request. Then in the email already exists, it's a conflict. Okay. Next thing which we have is method argument not valid exception. So at the rate exception handler method argument not valid exception with class. So public response entity. Now this one we have to return map of string comma object. Nothing but handle validation exception. Into this one we have method argument not valid exception ex. Into this one what we will do is we will simply create string message is equal to ex dot get binding result dot get field errors field errors dot stream dot find first dot map, and we have to map with default message source resolvable dot get default message. This one, or else we'll simply return invalid request. Finally, http status is equal to http status dot bad request return response entity dot status dot body map dot off timestamp comma instant dot now status dot value, and next one which we have is error. This is nothing but message. Close this. Now close this, save it. Next thing which we have is nothing but the async response exception. So at the rate exception handler, and with this one we will pass two type of exception, async YNC request not usable exception. This one. So another one is client aborted exception dot class. If these two exception false, then public void handle client abort into this one exception ex, and in this one we will simply add a debugging. And to this one we will type the message client closed connection during streaming expected for video seeking / buffering. Dot get message. Okay, and after this the last one which we will handle is the global, the parent of all, that is nothing but exception. This is nothing, simply go over here, copy the internal one, not the internal one, copy the whole method like this and paste it over here. Exception, and this is nothing but internal server error, handle generic exception or handle generic. Okay, so now this one is done. So far what we have did is we have created we have added all the POM dependencies. We have configured the application or properties. We have created the enum. We have created all the DTOs. We have created all the entities, and we have created and configured all the exception in the global exception handler. So this much task is done. So in the next video, we are going to discuss and we will start the designing of how to implement the JWT part. Then this application will work. Right now, if I try to run this, this will not run, this will fail. So we have to implement first the JWT part, then we will try to run this. So that's it for this video, guys. Please like, share and subscribe with your friends, and please do a valuable comment. Whatever the feedback you have and whatever the new projects which you want, please comment. Thank you for watching.